Hey guys, an interesting one this week. I'm not testing a gun. Testing an optic. Not something I get to test very often. And something I've had for the better part of 6 months now. To say that I've had a good run at testing it would be something of an understatement. And that's for a reason. Let's do oily bits and then I'll get into why, right? So this is an optical sight, a red dot sight designed to be fitted to the rib of a shotgun. The device comes with a series of different mounting hardware that allows you to fit this to any shotgun. So the idea being you measure the thickness and the width of your rib and then you match the mounting hardware to that in the instructions. Okay, so there's a set of instructions, Torx key and a set of mounting hardware. You set it up, mount it, zero it, turn it on, job done. It is an incredibly well-built bit of kit. The optic's crystal clear. The dot is, I can't remember what MOA it is, but it's very, very clear. It has different brightness levels. It's just a very, very nice bit of electronics. It's lovely. Aside from the mounting bracketry, you've got a battery port, on-off and brightness switch. And then on the other side, we have windage and on the top elevation. That's it. It's a very, very simple, very, very, very well made bit of kit. As well it should be for the not insignificant RRP, which I'll pop on screen. And that's correct at time of writing. Now, why might you want one of these? Now, this has been one of the reasons why I've had it for so long. Initially, when I put it on the gun, as somebody who is a technophile, I've used red dots before on pistols, on rifles, etc. Obviously going back away and shooting in other countries. I thought popping this in a shotgun would be an absolute doddle, right? And certainly for some targets, it is. But for others, I really struggled with it. And I thought I was doing something wrong. I had a long chat with Edgar Brothers and with Aimpoint, and I kind of realised that the problem was that really it's not for me. It's not for me in the kind of shooting I do. Why? So, imagine, if you will, you're a walked-up shooter. You're shooting at stuff that's, your dogs are scaring it up. It's getting away from you, not too far away, relatively static because it's leaving. For that, this is just murder. Quite literally, any going away target, anything static, anything that's not doing a lot of movement where you don't have to put a huge amount of lead on it, it's dead. It is so dead. Like, trap, there's a reason they've just made this illegal at the CPSA as a device. It's an absolute doddle because you just literally touch the target with the dot and it's gone. Same with a bird that you've just scared up. Anything incoming, mustard. The problem for me came when I was shooting bigger targets where I had to put more lead or more gun speed, where the target was effectively leaving the window. I tried it at the end of the barrel, I tried it at the base of the barrel. I just couldn't seem to work it out. My brain couldn't recalibrate to the relationship with the dot. And the reason is I've been shooting for 30 some years. I'm used to looking at the target and having the gun as a nebulous shape. It just, my brain has that relationship, and that's how I gap targets. Having to then recalibrate to concentrate on a dot, I just couldn't do it. I could do it to a certain extent. I could get to the point where I was kind of pushing away from stuff very, very smoothly, and that was something a coach actually mentioned to me, is, wow, you're incredibly smooth with that, because you have to be. But with a limited degree of success. I think if I did it for long enough, I think I could probably recalibrate, but I can't see in the UK these being legal as a competition device, and therefore I'm probably not going to invest that time. However, what it is unbelievable for is as a coaching tool. Every coach I've showed this to immediately wanted one. They get it straight away, as do people who've never fired a shotgun before. That was when I had a bit of an epiphany with it. I gave it to a kid because I thought, I was driving on the way to the shooting ground, I was meeting a mate with his kid. I thought, you know what, he probably plays Call of Duty, he's used to this. He doesn't have the preconception of how shotguns work, how shot work, how, you know, how the shot works, and just wonder. And I put it on a gun for him, and it was like he'd never not had it on. It was like, ha ha ha, I was just breaking stuff, no bother. Just got it straight away, understood it, knew how it worked. And similarly with people who've not shot before, trainees, as you will know, if you've ever tried to get somebody shooting, one of the big problems is actually getting them behind the gun properly. For us, if you're shooting a long enough time, it's just muscle memory. You just get behind the gun, you're looking down the rib, everything's hunky-dory. But some people do still like a mid-bead, which is almost like a check step, right? You are making sure that you're behind it. With that, times 10. Like, the ability to get somebody behind a gun with something where the dot is projected only when you are correctly aligned is suddenly, it just takes away the that moment or that period of time where you're trying to get them behind the gun, where you're trying to glue that relationship with what would be, if they were shooting a rifle, a rear sight, which once you get behind a rifle, if you can't see through the rear sight, if you can't see the foresight of the rear sight, you know something's wrong. With a shotgun, that doesn't exist. You can only see the bead. Therefore, you can be wildly out of alignment, cutting your head and all the rest of it, and you can still see the bead. With one of these, that goes away. Suddenly, they have to be behind the gun, and they get it. You don't have to have it explained to them. You're like, can you see the bead? Can you see the dot? Yes, right. Put it on the thing, bang, it goes pop. It saves so much time. And almost by default, they'll develop a mount. Might not be perfect, but it's close enough where they're no longer, you know, wildly out of alignment, because they can't be if they can't see the dot. All right, there it is. And it's an epiphany for them and for coaches. Everybody I've shown it to as a coach, as I said, wants one. And everybody I've let try it, who is a newbie, thinks it's the best thing ever. So, for a set application, as I said, snap shooting, going away stuff, God, if they legalised it for trap, and I think skeet too, because that's about, you know, you're not putting too much lead on skeet target. It's absolutely amazing, and you couldn't ask for a better built device. Good Lord, it's incredible. It's dead easy to fit if you happen to have already zeroed it on a gun. Taking it off and putting it on again is the work of but 30 seconds, and you can keep it in your pocket. It's there if you need it. Like, yeah, fab. Would I recommend it? I don't know. I've never had something that more people want to try. Like, no gun, no thing. If I rock up with this on a gun, everybody wants to know what it is. Everybody wants to have at least a look through it, if not a shot with it on. Definitely develops a lot of buzz, and certainly people enjoy trying it. I just think it's not for everyone. It has a really, really specific purpose. So, a really long-winded review of an optic. Sorry about that, but I did feel like I needed to express kind of the journey that I had over the past few months with this, to figure out what it's for as a bit of kit. And it is a lovely bit of kit, within a framework of what it's useful for. Who knows? Maybe give it 10 years, everybody might have one of these on their gun, and I'm a dinosaur. Let's face it. That's the way it's gone with rifles and pistols. This might well be the next thing, right? Who knows? But that's the future. Right now, I'd be very appreciative if you would subscribe, and even more so if you would join. Joining the channel helps to support the channel. All of the money from the memberships goes back into the channel. I don't take any money out. It goes to buy equipment. It goes to pay for making content. And I'd be very pleased and grateful if you would consider joining. Benefits are in the join page, as well as we have a WhatsApp group where you can give me grief if you wish. And of course, merch. New merch stores available. Do go and have a look. If you fancy any bits of kit, a little bit of that money comes to me as well. It all helps. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.
designs adapted for technical performance.